Log 1. Subject appears to be waking up, consistent with the last dose of administered local anesthetic, displaying signs of slight anxiety and elevated heart rate, as is expected. Subject appears to be in good condition and is remaining stable. Vitals are in the acceptable margins, save for the heart rate, which is steadily increasing. Once again, acceptable given the circumstances. But if it's to rise much more, it may interfere with the results. I'd better do something about that, shouldn't I? Oh, you're already awake? Ah, dear. I hope you didn't hear my rambling. I've grown so used to talking to myself that it's nearly second nature. Well, welcome back to the land of the living, and I'd like to formally welcome you to my laboratory. I do apologize for the sedation. It's just rather difficult these days to procure subjects, especially considering the delicate nature of my work. I'm sure you're rather confused. I'll do my very best to explain what's about to happen to you. You're going to do me the honor of being my test subject for the day. My lab rat, if you will. Oh, but those are disposable, aren't they? I don't want the name to cause you any excess stress. I assure you, you're far more valuable than that. Very valuable, in fact. Subjects are in such sort supply that I find myself resorting to unsavory measures to procure them, putting my very job and livelihood at risk. So you should be rather flattered indeed that I chose you for today. I'm sure you'd like to know exactly what's going on, but I'd rather not violate my Hippocratic oath. I am still a professional, after all, despite how admittedly unprofessional my methods have become. I'm sure you understand. What happens in my lab must stay in my lab, and if you survive this experiment, then I wouldn't want you blabbing on about mad ladies in lab coats, now would I? It'd be just terrible for my reputation. You still look confused. I'm sure you'd love to speak, but unfortunately the anesthetic has a mild paralyzing effect on the muscles. Don't worry, it'll wear off. I wouldn't do anything to you that would cause irreversible damage. It would be rather unbecoming of a scientist to do, treating my patients so callously, though I suppose that does come with the territory in a way. What we're going to be doing today is testing a serum I've been working on for a while. If my calculations are correct, then this could prove to be the solution to everlasting life. Of course, there's the matter of testing it. Do you have any idea how hard it is to move something like this to human trials? It's downright impossible. But this could be used to transform the world as we know it. and you will be a wonderful help in getting us there. Hmm. First, I'll need to perform a physical examination. Oh, nothing major. I'm just going to quickly look you over to ensure you're a good fit for the trial. It's rather difficult to find those in perfect health, but I think you'll do just fine. That's why I chose you after all. Just walking down the street during my lunch breaks, I see such interesting people from all walks of life, but most don't fit the needed criteria. But you caught my eye right away. The perfect subject. So I do hope you won't disappoint me. Looks can be deceiving, and there's a lot that could be wrong with you under the surface. It would be easier for you to tell me yourself, but you can't really speak right now, can you? No. So I'll just have to figure it out on my own. I'll apologize preemptively for the possible invasive nature of this exam, but I assure you I am a professional, and everything I do is perfectly within the guidelines of my work. Now, I'm going to start by looking over your muscles. Just go ahead and relax for me. Deep breath in, deep breath out. There we go. Now, another deep breath in, and then another breath out. Excellent. You're still so stiff. As I run my fingers over your legs, your muscles are still so rigid. I've seen this before. You sit a lot, don't you? I find that's rather common with today's individuals. Always so glued to their phones and their desks, unaware of the world around them. Not to assume anything about your life. I'm sure you're far different, but perhaps it's time to reconsider the more sedentary nature. I don't mean to admonish, it's merely something to be wary of. You could be susceptible to deep vein thrombosis, but despite my doctorate, I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you what to do. Though if there are any issues with your veins, that could possibly complicate my results. So you'll want to work on that if you want to keep me in a good mood. Moving on from your legs, I'm going to look over your arms. Your hands seem to be rather flexed as well. Such a tense state, even with an anesthetic. I almost pity you. You don't get the chance to relax much, do you? Poor thing. What a shame. I don't mean to get sentimental with my subjects, but someone as alluring as you should really take better care of themselves. You deserve that, don't you? The smallest kindness you can award yourself. To be human is such a great honor. One I haven't been familiar with in quite some time. You do very well to not take it for granted. Understood? Good. I know you can't respond, but that look you're giving me. I'm sure what you mean to say with those pleading eyes is yes, of course, I will work on exercising more. I will take care of myself. Or else. You're such a quick learner. Now, as I'm already here, I think I'm going to look over your upper arms. Your shoulders are so tense. I'll need to get you to relax just a little more. Increased blood flow is important in helping me find a vein, after all. Here, I'll just rub your shoulders gently. You're holding a lot of tension in your neck. How often are you stretching? Well, judging by my previous examination, I think I know the answer. You know your muscles are at risk of atrophying if you don't get even light exercise. Then you'd be quite a terrible test subject. Though I suppose you aren't the only one in the world. Did you know, for example, that those, let's say, confined to hospital beds for long stretches often show extreme atrophy of the muscles? They go unused for so long that even those with the most defined musculature begin to grow weak. You wouldn't want to grow weak, would you? There's no use for a weak test subject. And I find myself growing strangely fond of you. I see great promise within you. Who knows? Maybe if we can get these problems sorted out, I may even think about keeping you around. I mustn't get ahead of myself. Everyone knows what the fate of a lab rat is. And I'll only end up making myself sad if you disappoint me. I do hope you're enjoying this massage. It's not often I do this. You should find yourself extremely lucky. You're doing a good job of relaxing. I can practically feel your pulse slowing. Thrumming beneath my fingers as your heart pumps blood throughout your body, delivering precious oxygen to your extremities. I'm sure you're familiar with the feeling of pins and needles when, say, your foot falls asleep. That's because your heart can't properly supply it with the oxygen it needs. Mildly annoying at best, it can quickly become a problem. Chronic poor circulation is rather common in those who don't move enough. It's imperative that you exercise and ensure good blood flow. I don't like repeating myself, so I do hope you're remembering all of this. Good health is important to good living, after all, and, well, if you do live after this, I'm sure my advice will do you well. You're good at following instructions already. Relaxing so well. That's it. Just relax. There we are. Good job. Oh, you're doing so well. Feel that tension in your shoulders melt away as I get the lactic acid flowing in your muscles. I'm sure you'd love more than anything to move right now, but I do have to keep you on this table. It almost feels hypocritical now, doesn't it? Me telling you to move and then keeping you contained. I just like to be careful, is all. It would do very good to have a subject running around now, would it? And given that the results of what I'm about to do are still up in the air, it's good that you stay where you are. Now, you feel rather relaxed. Your tension is slowly fading. I'm sure the anesthetic is at play, but I'll give myself a pat on the back. You're going to be such a good test subject. I can't wait to see what my serum does to you. Everlasting life. I'm sure you've thought about it before. How tantalizing. You're the best candidate I've had so far. Even with minor imperfections, you're far within the passable margins. It's shocking the state humans are in these days. Truly pitiful creatures, but you can be put to great use. Oh, yes. Well, if you survive, that is. I don't mean to alarm you. I have just gotten your heart rate down, but I feel we've gotten to know each other a tad, and I'm feeling generous today, so I'm going to clue you in on a little secret just between us. None of my other subjects have survived even the first dose of serum. And there goes your heart rate spiking again. I should have kept it to myself. I really wouldn't be worried. You're in a far better state than the rest of them. I know you won't disappoint me. You're going to be perfect for this. So, I think I'll go ahead and ready my syringe. You're not scared of needles, are you? Not like you can answer. Even if you are, I promise this'll be quick. You'll just feel a slight prick, and then it will warp at the injection sites. I've had other subjects tell me it burns, but I'm sure they were just being dramatic. So, stay very, very still. Not like you have much else you could do, but I may as well give you the option. Let me... Oh, I nearly forgot. I need to clean the area, don't I? Let me just find a clean cotton swab and this'll be a bit cold. Just cleaning up the site. And we're done. I like to be thorough. The slightest germ could lead to an infection after all, and after all this hard work, that'd just be such a shame. So, stay still. I promise you won't feel a thing. That was fast, see? I've already done it. I noticed you closed your eyes when I put the needle in, so you are afraid of them. I'm sorry, but there's no other way I could have administered it. I don't take joy in needless suffering, so believe me, if there was an easier way, I'd do it, but it's already done. Oh well, water under the bridge, I suppose. Thank you for not moving. You're perfect. You're going to be a fine specimen for me, won't you? So pliant, so perfect. Now all that's left to do is observe the effects and see if you'll last longer than the others. At least for the next 24 hours. If you make it that long. I have no idea. It's far too early to make a judgment one way or the other, but I'm really counting on you. So please don't disappoint me. Alright? You'll stay here in my laboratory and I'll be keeping a very close watch of you. Just the two of us. I've taken good care of you thus far, haven't I? I promise there's nothing at all you need to fear. I take my role very seriously. I'll keep you in the best of health, no matter what may happen to you, no matter what changes may occur. I'll be sure to record every little heart rate spike. Every time your blood pressure changes, your eyes dilate. We're going to get to know each other very, very well by the end of this trial. Just the two of us, alone in my lab together. I promise there's nothing you have to fear. I've been told I'm a very good host, at least for the time the subjects survived. I notice your blood pressure keeps spiking. Does it make you nervous that I keep mentioning the survival rate? Maybe it's fun to make your blood pressure spike. I guess this is what science is all about. Learning things about ourselves and each other. But don't worry, at the end of 24 hours, you'll be free. If you can make it that long,